Hi, my name is Colin SkipperWing Bird, and welcome to a special subset of SkipperWing Draws a Thing, process videos for the Crimson Fly animated comic strip. Today's strip, issue 3, strip number 34. So, this strip, warning in advance, is actually not quite as action-oriented as last week's strip, which is kind of paradoxical when you think about it. Last week was very action-oriented, and you would expect that that action would continue and punctuate on a climax. Well, yes, and who knows? Maybe in the future, if when I'm revisiting these strips, I'll think differently. But in the moment, I felt that it was better to get a sort of emotional beat on the characters rather than having it be action-oriented and focusing on their bodies clashing against each other. That was very strangely homoerotic. I decided that it would be better to focus on their faces and the emotions that they were feeling at the moment as it built up to the explosion at the end. And I also kind of wanted to go for some visual trickery that I'm about to explain, even though you'll probably get it in the story. Whereas most of the action and the primary action is happening in the foreground with the fly and the homeowner fighting each other, I also wanted to sort of be this sort of little mini plot happening in the background with the thief reaching for her gun that was introduced in the last strip. And I wanted to sort of be secretive, sort of like how things can happen in the background in a movie or be mentioned offhand in small paragraphs in a story. So how I decided to do that was I made the fighting panels have white outlines and white action lines, and I decided to have the thief's panels have black borders and be smaller. So it would be this sort of back and forth, this visual back and forth. I'm not sure if it came across really well, but I like to think I tried pretty well. As for the action lines in the fly and the homeowner's panels, well, have you ever watched an anime where there's a still of a panning vertically of a character getting ready to do something? He's about to punch somebody, he's about to throw something, he's about to do something dramatic, and there are these white streaking lines? Well, I can't say for certain. I'm not I haven't really learned why, but if I had to speculate, it's because it creates a sort of movement and motion. It implies motion. So like the way speed lines and action lines do when they attach to the body, or just in the background as a whole. I wanted to sort of imply chaos, and I hope that those white action lines are a good way to do that. As I mentioned earlier, I wanted to sort of be focused more on the emotion of the characters, so only one panel in this is truly animated. However, for that one panel, I went as all out as I could. And I'm learning that there's an easy way in Flash to sort of introduce a camera of sorts. By using the layer mask as a camera lens, and then animating the sequence outside of it, you can sort of create a reverse camera, where the camera stays still, but in order to quote unquote move it, you move the environment around it. It's not a perfect solution, but it's a good cheat. I'm not entirely sure if I pulled it off in this instance. I feel like the camera could probably have been pulled back a little further, but well, no, there's really not a good excuse. I could say something about claustrophobia and being really close to the thing, but the camera probably should have been pulled out a little bit further. Oh well, who knows what could have been. For all we know, there's an alternate version of me recording this video and realizing that the camera is too far out. But what is, and I'm not going to make any excuses, and I'm not going to apologize for it. Unless it's very heinous, then I will totally apologize for it. And once again, in cleanup, I lament that I do not have a Crimson Fly puppet, or a way to create puppets for the Crimson Fly that are both dynamic enough to be used in action sequences, but at the same time simple enough that I'm not constantly rebuilding assets. And that's it for today's video. If you want to see this strip in its true format, please click the links in the annotations and cards. If you're new, please like and subscribe for more content. This is Colin SkipperWing Bird signing out. I'll catch you peeps later.